All right, welcome back to Live and On Cam. If you came to see Cam, you deserve to be on Cam. You already know the saying. I just want to give a big shout out to all of my supporters, all of the, I don't even want to say fans, all of the loyal people who've been loyal to this whole podcast. This has been a dream that I've been having since I was 17, and I know I said this on episode 8 that we were close to episode 10, but we're finally at episode 10. Can y'all believe it? Like, if you really remember from my first episode where I started from, that was a whole storage closet, and now, good studio, great guest, you know what I'm saying? But without further ado, who do I have the pleasure to sit next to me?
It's your boy, CottonCandyCaleb. I'm here with my son, Cam.
Order a pizza, Caleb. Nah, I appreciate you for coming on my platform, bro. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Everything's bougie. Nah, yeah. I'm excited to have you, bro. We've been supposed to do this, but you know how schedules get. But I just want you to let the people know what are certain things that you're into, what's your profession, what you got going on right now.
Appreciate it, bro. So, off the bat, mainly known as producer online. On the side, I like to mess around with certain technology, especially with AI. I've been messing around with that. I like doing social media, so learning how the algorithm works, making posts, memes, things of that nature. Yeah. Oh, it's like having fun. That's my thing.
This is a funny guy too. I don't know, but so you're saying you're a producer. Like, what are some artists you've worked with?
I worked with some local artists in Queens. Mainly like Shawnee Bin Laden, 450, Big Yaya, Diora. I've done like a track or two with Cash Cobain, Chow Lee. The big ones. 4-1 with their track Naughty Bob. That was probably the biggest one.
Nah, I know. We he giving y'all a lot, but we gonna get into that. But you said you work with like Shawnee Bin Laden, Diora, 450. Those are like Queens artists. So are you from Queens?
Yeah, of course. St. Albans.
Queens get the money?
Of course, bro.
Queens get the money. So what was it like for you, growing up in Queens?
I didn't live nowhere too crazy in Queens. St. Albans, quiet. You've been there before. It's calm, quiet. Except for, I'm on the bus to the Ave. On the Ave is a different story.
Yeah,
wild. St. Albans, it's calm, it's quiet. I like it where I'm at right now. I like it.
So how was it for like you growing up?
Growing up, not too crazy. I went to school PS 136. It's like in that area of Queens, you know where that's at. IS 192 by Hollis. Right next to where 50 Cent grew up too.
Oh, by God Brewer?
Oh,
that's what 50. I watch too much Tony Ayo, so I'm knowing. But so like, how was it for like your family knowing that you were a producer? Like, how did you introduce it to them? Like, when you started making music?
It was weird at first because you know about my parents, right? They're not fresh off the boat because they've been here for a while.
Yeah, but they're Jamaican.
Are hardcore Caribbean Christian Jamaicans. So
yeah.
Them in their head, they're like, oh, he's trying to be a doctor, trying to be a lawyer, a physician, but you tell him he's a producer, you're like, dang, I don't want to tell them right now because, right? Because at that time in college, I was doing mechanical engineering. So production, music, that wasn't the first thing that would come to their head. So it was a little weird at first, but you guys kind of helped me ease it in too.
Yeah.
So after a while, I talked to them. So it was an awkward conversation at first, but they understood. Cause, at the end of the day, it's family, so they got to support one another.
So was it once you started seeing the success, or did you tell them prior to any like songs came out? Cause you got a lot of big name songs. We gonna get into those. But like, was it before the success, or was it like after things started shooting off?
Definitely before. Because at the end of the day, they be wondering where I be going to when I say like I'm going out. Eventually, I let them know like I'm at the studio and whatnot. And they're like, "What you doing at the studio?" I'm like, "I make music." And even with certain conversations with later on when I started working with Shawnee and them, and you kind of just told them like, "Oh, you make beats."
Yeah.
And even with us when we used to record in the attic.
In the attic, yeah, that's. A lot of you, like, we're cousins, bro. Like, I don't want to make it simple, make it too complicated, but we're cousins, Like, I saw a lot of his come up from when we were, like, young. Like, for me, seeing you, I remember it was one time where I asked you, because I wanted to rap. Everybody wanted to rap. Like, everybody at one point wanted to rap, especially when we knew he was making music. Everybody in the house wanted to rap. Me, my older brother, like we just would go into this attic and just fool around. But I remember in his like kitchen, dining room-ish, he had like a Dell computer, some old Dell computer, bro. and he was making beats, and I told him, I remember this so clearly. I said, yo, DJ, I want a Kendrick beat. And then I went away because I was like, you're not about to cook up no Kendrick beat. Bro, he came back and he said, yo, I got the beat right here for you. And I'm like, dang, I did gotta rap. I did gotta rap on this. And it was dope too. And I knew he had a skill for it when that was an old computer. Like that was probably like 2014, bro. And that computer was probably like a 2005 computer, bro. It was one of those big brick computers. Like it wasn't no Mac, no HP. Like it was one of those big brick Dell computers.
Some schooly computers.
Yeah, like I seen it from when it just happened, like when he just started catching a wave. So you say like some of the artists you've named, like how did, you know, Shawnee's in Queens. So how did you end up meeting him, like getting in contact with him?
You probably remember this studio back in Long Island, but that's where I started going to. A friend of mine, a good old friend of mine named Cinny, super good engineer if you're trying to tap in with him. But I met him at a summer youth program. Back in the day, I used to trade clothes for studio time.
Yeah, you did. I remember that. I
gave bro a starter jacket for 5 hours of studio time.
Nah, you gotta get it how you get it, bro.
But because of him, we was doing it in his basement. After that, he got a nice little spot that he was working with in Long Island. And that was a spot where Diora, Cash, Shawnee, this is way, way back in the day before any kind of buzz really happened. It was like, you know, this local up-and-coming artists. They was over there recording and making beats. And I was in there here and there after class. I come to the spot in Long Island, hang out there for the day and head back home. So because of me being there, and putting myself in those environments with all those artists, I was able to get some kind of work in with them, for sure.
That's a fact. And you talking about Cash, we talking about Cash Cobain. So did you know, like just speaking about him, did you see him getting this big from when like everybody was starting out? Because I think you were the first person to even introduce me to a Cash Cobain song, because I didn't know about him making beats until like now. I thought he was a rapper at first, because some of the songs that you would put us on to, it was like him rapping, not him making beats. So did you see this star potential in him back then?
Yeah, super. Bro had a ton of motion back then. Even back when he was working, because he was Shawnee's, Diora's, all of them, he was their main go-to producer. And because of that wave and that sound, it helped me out a bunch on YouTube, because I was making those, because no one else on YouTube was making those beats. So I was like, let me start pushing out this kind of sound, because there's people in Queens that want this sound, and no one can really get, cause you know this thing, and this be from Cash, not from YouTube.
Yeah,
so,
that's a fact.
Like I was the only one really making those until the Cash Cobain drill sound came out. Cause before,
the sexy drill.
Yeah, before it was like a kind of like a plug kind of sound, like an old.
It wasn't what it is now. And I remember that time too, because I feel like that was such a pivotal time for like producers, especially when Pierre came around. I feel like everybody was heavy on like the SoundCloud kind of plug beats. That's when you had like Famous Dex was on. You had people like what's the guy that made Watch How I Run Up Them Bands, Ferragamo on My Pants? What's that guy? Trill Sammy. Trill Sammy. You had guys like that at that time. So I feel like those beats was like popping. Everybody was trying to make those type of beats. And it's crazy that, you know, Queens, you guys have a lot of poppin' producers, and like your music history is already different. Like I got 50 Cent, Nicki Minaj, people like that. But where do you feel like you fit in like this whole sound, like the whole sexy drill sound, and the whole like even like the sample drill? Like, you got some crazy sample drill songs.
Yeah, because I was definitely there close, because my first like sample drill was first Shawnee tape when he started doing the soul drill and all that. Back when it was like soul drill.
Yeah, sample drill. Yeah.
And funny enough, before I was not a big fan of like drill music for real.
Yeah.
I was in the studio, and the studio manager, the one in Long Island I was talking about, his name is O. He asked me to do it, like my first ever like sample drill. It was like a request, because you know I'd be in the spot, so if he asked for a certain beat,
you gonna cook it up?
Yeah, because he let me in there to cook up, so why not, right?
Yeah.
So I cooked it up. I wasn't thinking much of the beat either, because I was like, it's my first drill beat. I don't really like how it sound. But I just gave it to him. You know, he's gonna do what he gotta do. He's probably gonna listen to it, whatever. Yeah. Later on, Shawnee drops the tape, the first like Merry Grinchmas joint.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, that's my joint. I was mad. I ain't put my tag on it, but I was like, dang.
Yeah.
So after that, I was like, maybe this might be the wave, because I like how he was flowing on it with the sample drum. I'm like, yeah.
And you know what's crazy? Even for me, like being your cousin, I was like, dang, he's on. Like to me, that like you were on in my eyes, because I'm like, yo, this is an artist that all of me and my friends is listening to, and I'm like, yo, Mike, I hear the Order a Pizza Caleb tag. I'm like, hold on, that's my cousin. Like he made that beat. So bro, like from an outside perspective, I just want to say, like, the interview's not done yet, but I'm super proud of you, bro. Just want to give you your flowers, because I've seen like the come up and how you going, feel me?
Yeah.
So from Shawnee, how did like the other connections were made, like with Chow and like Lonnie Love, because they've used some of your beats on some certain tapes?
Usually a lot of placements, I'll be honest, some of them just come from YouTube. Other times, like I lab with other people that worked with him, like my son T Blossom. Shout out to T Blossom.
Shout out to T Blossom.
He definitely helped me out with a few of my placements too with them, because he's also back then, because right now he's doing his own thing right now, but back when he was heavy with the sample drill too, he was definitely one of their go-to guys. It's all, like you said, like we talked about before, it's all about networking.
Yeah, that's a fact. So how is your studio process? Because I feel like a lot of your beats, if you go to like your type beats on YouTube, a lot of the samples, a lot of like the acoustics are just like different. Like even like certain samples, like you'll use like a gospel sample instead of maybe using like the regular sample that everybody's using, or like they may change it or distort it. Like how do you go about being different in a lane that maybe some people could say oversaturated?
Yeah, well, the thing, like I mentioned before, I wasn't a big fan of drill music, so I wasn't really listening to drill music that heavy. And because I feel like now it's for me, it's kind of messed up, because now I listen to a lot of drill music, so my ears kind of
tuned to it.
Yeah, but before I wasn't really tapped in with it, so I was kind of just making like what does drill sound to me for real?
Yeah.
So like I was just going based off of a few songs and the stuff, my prior knowledge with the kind of beats I've made before, I kind of just collabed them together, just put them together. So it's like a mix of drill and stuff I've done before, just my own kind of spin to it, basically.
Yeah. So now we're gonna start getting into some juicy stuff. You saying that, you know, now your ear got tuned to drill. You produced one of the biggest drill songs out of New York, which is the Notti Bop.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you produced the Notti Bop, like, and I got a crazy story before we're gonna dive into like how you tell it. The crazy thing is that beat my older brother rapped on. Like a lot of people don't know. Like this is like
we recorded that in the studio.
We recorded that beat in the stew. Like he was making that beat, like finishing that beat up when we just got to the studio, bro. Like he was finishing that beat up, and it was the Castaways. Like me and one of my mans, we just like, oh nah, this beat fire. Like we just dancing in the stew. And then I was at work one day. I used to work at Home Depot in the Bronx on Gun Hill Road. And one of my coworkers, he comes to me, he's like, yo, this beat fire. And at the time, I think the beat had on YouTube like 50K views. So I'm like, I know that. I'm like, yo, that's my cousin. I think I called you. I'm like, yo, bro, my coworker's playing me your beat, bro. So time goes by now, right? I got a whole new job in the city. Like life has gone on. It's almost been like a year, or maybe like 6 months to a year.
Pretty much.
4-1 is starting to blow now. You get what I'm saying? They're going up. I'm on break. My older brother sends me a post. It's from What's New York Sounds Like. It's Notti Bop, produced by CottonCandyCaleb. I'm like, nah, he's on. Cause that, like 4-1, they hot right now. But that's when they just hit the scene, bro. I'm like, yo, my cousin about to make it out. Like we about to be rich. Like I'm dumb hype. So like, how did it go for you? Like, how was that process? Like getting them to be like, did you hear the song before it came out? Like, how was that whole dilemma?
Like you mentioned before, we that beat was made like way back. I'd say like a year or two before it really got to them. After we cooked it up, I put it on YouTube, just free type beat.
Yeah.
Pay for it if you're trying to put it on streaming. Them getting it, they probably like everyone else, they just looked it up, heard it, downloaded it off of YouTube. I didn't really catch wind of it until, because I wasn't really on TikTok, like in that realm of TikTok, so I wasn't knowing what they was doing over there. So I wasn't really hip to them back then. management hit me up saying they trying to buy the exclusive rights. So I'm like, all right, cool, who are they? And they sent me the snippet. I'm like, oh, sounds cool, whatever.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking too much of it because, you know, that was like when drill was crazy and rampant.
Yeah.
I mean, it still is, but it was just regular diss tracks here and there. So I wasn't thinking too much of it, bro. Just another diss track. So I was like, shoot, how much we paid? I'm not going to disclose numbers, but it was a decent amount. It wasn't nothing too crazy, but it was something good, something to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Because like we said, we wasn't thinking too much of it. And they was kind of messing with us too because we was trying to go for a certain number. We're like, oh, nah, you know, because we can always get someone to remake the beats. I was like, dang.
Yeah.
Shoot, we'll go with whatever they got. Sold it. After they dropped it, I was thinking, all right, cool. Maybe I'm going to call them like 500K, 200K plays.
I had $1 million a night, bro.
Bro, I was shook. And this is when I first started working at my current job.
Yeah.
So I'm in training. I'm looking at it like, yo, number 20 on YouTube, what's going on?
Bro, I remember that night you called me. It was like 12 o'clock at night. You like, bro, it just hit 1 million views in a day. I'm like, and I'm waking up, I'm going on YouTube. I'm like, nah, this joint hit 1 million a day.
Number 1 on YouTube.
On trending, music, bro. Before it got taken down, bro, I'm like, nah, my cousin is on. Like, I was like, yo, nah, this is just his foot in the door. Like, so,
yeah.
Even like to get deeper into it, did you know about like what they were talking about, like the politics, like the drill beef behind
bro,
it? Or
I'm a civilian.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about them politics. So at first when I heard it, I didn't think too much of it. I wasn't really, you know. But once my management, Kobe, he explained the thing that was going on in the song. I'm like, damn. I was like, dang. I'll be honest, because don't get me wrong, I was happy that something of mine was up there, but the message behind it kind of just messed me up in a sense. Like, dang. I just felt kind of weird about the whole situation. Like, I was cool, I got paid for it. I was cool, I got some recognition, but yeah, I was still feeling weird about the whole message behind the song, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you feel like if you knew like what the topic of the song would be on your beat, would you still have sold it and still gone about it the same way you did?
No lie.
Would you not have sold it?
I felt like I still would have, but my attitude towards the thing, I would have went about it a bit different. Instead of kind of resenting the song, I should have just used whatever, you know, emotion was coming my way to push myself even further. Because that's one thing I regretted. Because after the whole thing, I kind of just stayed quiet for a while. I didn't really feed off of the
tension.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you feel like how was that feeling for you though? Like just seeing a song, like a song that you produced, get that big, like what type of feeling was that?
Felt like drugs, bro. Like I was like, dang, I want more.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, dang. Because once you see something like that go up, you're like, dang, I got the potential to do something like this for real.
Yeah, facts. Even though the song got taken down, like I definitely feel like, bro, you should just keep working, like keep going crazy, because at the end of the day, like if you hit 1 million a night, bro, off like a diss record, bro, you could hit 1 million a night off something,
anything else,
some vibey record. So are there any artists or any other producers that like you're looking forward to work with in the new year?
Honestly, I want to work with Snot again. We got 2 tracks out, pretty good, but he's someone I would want to work with. Him, I definitely want to start tapping in more with the Slizzies again, because it felt like it was like a little one-off thing, but
yeah,
I want to work with him. Him, R2R Mo, that's another one too.
Yeah, he's tough.
Definitely. I want some other underground dudes. Real Young Phil, want to work with him. Your stepdad, he's another up-and-coming dude.
I heard about your stepdad.
He cool. And like big artists, I definitely want to tap in with Lucky. That's someone who I definitely got some.
Yeah, Lucky is definitely different. I could see you dropping some beats for him that he probably would jack.
Facts.
So, are you trying to like switch up your sound from that, like the sexy drill type of beats, or you're trying to just keep it like that because that's the wave right now?
That's the part that's kind of confusing me right now. In a sense, like I'm still like on a crossroad basically, because the sexy drill is there and the money and the bag is there for it, but nowadays it kind of feels too like oversaturated, bro.
Yeah,
it's too many people, because the main reason why I was going up on YouTube before like I mentioned, I was doing the Cash Cobain beats, the early ones. Nobody was doing it on YouTube, and there was an audience for it.
Yeah.
So I was able to go up off of that. But now that everybody's doing sample drill or sexy drill, it's kind of hard to really pop out or be noticeable.
Yeah, that's a fact. That definitely is a fact. So, are you messing with, like, this is just like a curve? Are you messing with like the Philly type of beats, like the Skrilla, OT7 Kwani, like those type of beats?
Recently,
like I said, like, what are you down to make? You know, deal with like the Philly artists, like the Skrillas, like the OT7 Kwanis, like kind of like the dark type of beats. Like, are you down to like make those for different artists?
Yeah, definitely. I cooked up a few of those recently. My boy ZT, shout out to ZT. He put me on to those for sure. He mainly makes those, and I've noticed Shawnee and all the yellows, they've been getting on that vibe too. Cause when SB,
I just want to check.
Oh no, you good?
If the cameras. It's still recording.
All right, good.
Yeah, seriously.
All right. Yeah, SB and them, I noticed, because when SB came back and he did that show, he brought up Skrilla.
Yeah, he did bring up Skrilla.
After that, I noticed like they probably started tapping in more, because I'm seeing he's getting on them Skrilla beats too. I'm like,
yeah, for sure.
And it's not to say it's hard to make, but it's fun. It's fun. It's like a breath of fresh air, because it's something different I'm working on now.
So do you feel like, I feel like nowadays things are here for a good time, not a long time. Like, even I remember when nobody knew about the Slizzies. Like, it was just like, if you were from Queens or Long Island, maybe Brooklyn, if you knew, you knew. But if you didn't know, a majority of people didn't really know. You know what I'm saying? So now everybody wants to do sexy drill. Drake, all these different artists. Who else? What's his name? Who did the whole My Glock when I'm in the club? Who made that song?
I'm not sure.
It was what's this guy's name? It's gonna come back to me. But yeah, that artist. It's a bunch of artists now, mainstream artists doing sexy drill. So how do you feel like what are certain things that you're trying to do to just stay original?
Just being myself when it comes to the music, because a lot of people, what they do is a lot of copy paste or microwave beats, like quick.
Yeah, that will grab attention.
Sometimes you really got to sit there and figure out how to put your own little spin to it. So at least if you put it out there and it is sample drill, it is sexy drill, people know it's your beat. Like, they can hear it and they know it's you and not someone else. Like, if you go on YouTube and type in Cash Cobain type beat and close your eyes, you're gonna think like, oh, this sounds like a Cash beat. Even though Cash got his thing, like, it's a lot of clones out there basically. But when you would listen to mine, certain people when they talk to me, like, yeah, I know it's a CottonCandyCaleb beat.
Yeah, that's a fact. And one thing I like about you that you do different is you use a lot of video game samples too. Like, where does that come from? Like, were you like a heavy gamer when you were a kid? I already know the answer, but you could tell the people.
I mean, I'm not gonna front. Y'all gave me my first PS1.
Yeah, we did.
PS2.
Yeah, PS2. Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, I had 2 PS3s. Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, definitely that. And then especially with the emulators too, I played a lot of video games on that too. So a lot of music, I just base it off of games I've played. It's easy. I know what the songs sound. I know what they sound like already, so it's easy for me to work with.
Yeah, and I feel like it's just different in general. Like, and one thing I'll say to you, just advice, even like with the podcast, we on episode 10 right now, so we going up. But when you're doing something new, bro, it's always gonna be like take a little longer for people to get onto it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're introducing a whole new like thing that people have never. Because sometimes I'll be listening to your beats, I'm like, dang, this is from Super Smash Brothers. Like, so like it'll be like the Super Smash Brothers background music, and I'm like, dang, but it's tough though, and it brings back a certain level of nostalgia. Like, your samples are not just like maybe like an Alicia Keys song from the 90s or like a Mary J. Blige song or like some song from the 70s. Like, it's old video games that you might have played when you were a kid, or it's like a gospel song you might have heard in church. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a different type of wave, bro. So like, kudos to you for being different.
I appreciate it.
So what are some plans you got for this year?
This year, definitely consistency, because I'll be honest, I've been falling off a bit with my consistency. YouTube, I've been getting back on it, because when I started my current job, I was like in and out with YouTube, and that was definitely a decent monthly bag with YouTube. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, you actually be doing views.
Yeah, but now it's hard, because after you stop, they're really making you slave away to get them views back to where they were before.
For sure.
Same thing with Instagram. I was locked in with Instagram because with Instagram I had a crazy jump. I had a crazy run.
You did.
From like a whole month, I went from like 2K. I was stuck on 2K for like a good 2-3 years because I lost my old Instagram and I had to grind on this new John.
Now you at 10K.
Yeah, and it could have been more if I just kept posting. But the thing with me, and something I've started to cut out a bit, is being perfect with my posts. Like I realized if you try to be perfect with everything, it's going to take forever for you to drop stuff. So just post
you'll
it.
never drop it. Yeah,
Exactly.
just post it. Yeah, so you know, like, well, I just had a brain fart. But that's super dope, bro. Like, and I just hope that, you know, this year is like an even better year. 'Cause I remember, I think it was last year, I was with you and you showed me you had like 1 million page views.
That was on the TikTok,
On
right?
TikTok, yes, on TikTok you had like 1 million page views. And I'm like, dang, like, one thing about you, bro, I always give you your props, bro. You consistently grind out, like, you know the social media algorithm and you know what people like, bro. So it probably won't be hard for you to, you know, snap back and get your motion back, bro. Feel me?
Yeah.
So where are some places that people could reach you, like, on, like, to get beats, maybe to get maybe a feature? Because a lot of people don't know he used to rap.
Back in the day.
He dead used to rap.
Young
And before we
Dave.
even get to the emails and Instagrams, do you feel like you would get back into that bag of rapping and producing?
Low key, if I did rap, I'd have to be like on some, like a whole alter ego. Like, it gotta be separate from CottonCandyCaleb, but nobody can know that I'm who I am.
You are, yeah, that's a fact. That's that, because you got bars. Like, you definitely could rap. But I remember you used to have some. If you go back to CottonCandyCaleb, go all the way down.
Nah, they not gonna see those.
Oh,
They not gonna see that.
Bro, we used to make songs in his attic at his crib. Like, some of those songs, bro, if you could send me them, I definitely put them in the vid for me, for the people. But, you know, yeah, back to the social medias, the emails, like, where are some places that people could reach you to just maybe get in contact with you, maybe do some promo, get some beats? Yeah.
Copy. If you're a rapper, you need beats, you can go on my YouTube. It's, you know, CottonCandyCaleb. If you want to, you know, lease something out, you want to work something out, work on a project, album, whatever, hit up me and I'll lock us in. You can talk to my management at xkobeXX. He can help you out too. He's in my bio too, so if you want to tap in on like bigger projects, we can work together on something to get you situated. Producers, if you want to collab, hit me up either at CottonCandyCaleb or CottonCandyCaleb1. Either one is a good way to hit me up to get some work in for real.
Yo, bro, I appreciate you for coming on the platform. We family already.
Of course.
And we definitely gonna double back on this interview again for a part 2 later when, you know, you doing another #1 hit song. But even before that, yo, to all my supporters, everybody who shares, comments, likes, subscribed, just, you know, bear with me. We working. Like, we working. It's what, like, we family. You get what I'm saying? Like, we going to the top with this podcast stuff. More to come.
Facts.
Merch, new people. You're gonna see some bigger and better guests on the platform. I'm dropping every week for y'all. I get in something new every week. I'm about to start getting into the shorts, to the clips. I'm about to start getting back on TikTok
Yes,
too.
sir.
So y'all